Welcome back to another one. And today we're going to talk about another headset. It's going to be the Soundcore by Anker Liberty Neo. And you can find these for fairly cheap, about $40 brand new, maybe a little bit less on Amazon depending on the sale. And this headset has had a little time, aged a little differently than others. Still has USB, micro USB on it, but we'll talk about that a little bit in this video. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, let's hop into this review. Kind of was lost for words for a moment right there. Let's hop into this. As you can see, the headset is right here. I already took it out of the case, but I am going to still show you what actually comes inside of this bad boy anyway. So what we have is basically your books, which will tell you about your controls. This is what I always love about Anker buds. They come with obviously all your rubber tips that you need. You have your mediums, your smalls, your extra larges. I forget the exact sizes that they have, but it varies because the mediums are already on the headset itself, or these might actually be smalls. They kind of look like mediums. I'm going to call them mediums. Anyway, you have your micro USB. Now, most Anker headsets obviously have USB-C, but this one was made a little while ago. I want to say about 2019 or so, and they still use micro USB, believe it or not. Some headsets didn't during that year, but this particular one does. And I'm not too happy about that, but it was also not a deal breaker on the simple fact that when we get through the rest of this review, you'll be pleasantly surprised on actually how well these things actually do. Or you may not be, because I've done some reviews on Anker earbuds, and to be honest, most of them are good for the most part. Some feel a little uncomfortable, but when it comes to things like this, they actually did a really good job of the fit. But I don't want to hop ahead of the video. So anyhow, these are your rubber ear tips that go around the border of the headset. You're able to actually take off the rubber that you see right here on the headset, and you're able to replace it in case you need that more ear security. Now, personally, I don't use any of those. It's unnecessary for the type of ear shape that I have. And I'm actually super happy about that because I normally use the ones that don't have the wingtips at all. I'm not a fan of wingtips. I don't think headsets should come with wingtips or they should be optional to take off. That's one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of the Beats Pros, whatever they're called. You know how they keep making 1,000 headsets. Anyway, so what we have here on the back, it says power, but in reality, that's just a power strip that you would use to actually charge your headset, as you can see right here. Let me keep this in focus so you guys can see it. If we're talking about the case, surprisingly, I mean, it's a cheap plastic case, not too cheap. It feels similar to, not the Galaxy Buds case, more like the original Galaxy Buds, like the 2020 ones. It feels as sturdy as that one, if you've ever had that pair where it was also a pill-shaped case. So it does feel pretty good. Actually feels a little bit more sturdy than that. When you flip it open, it's not too flimsy. It actually stays locked in place. The headset stays locked in place inside of the case itself. It's magnetic, which most cases are magnetic. You have your outside lights on the front that will show you your battery life. So I'm just going to guess 100% to 75, 75 to 50. I don't know. I'm not even going to even try to guess that. I kind of did, but you get the point. This is from 0 to 100 based on let you know how charged it is. If your headset is inside the case, when these white dots are here, it means that the headset is charging and that it's connected. So that's a good thing. When we take a look at the actual headset itself, the shape-wise, I was a little skeptical at first because this part right here, I figured was going to, it's like a little lump, kind of like a little, I don't know how to describe it. It's like an indent where it's supposed to conform into your ear. And I was a little worried about this at first because with the Galaxy Bud Pros, they cause ear infections. And yes, it's official. They cause ear infections. And I can honestly say that I was a little worried that this is probably going to cause pressure against my ear, possibly scrape the inside, but it didn't. I don't have any issue or any discomfort whatsoever. And I'm super surprised about that. I like these. When I first saw these online, I'm like, you know what? I'm talking on a run-on sentence right now. Let me breathe. Anyway, when I saw these online, the first thing I said was, for the price, I don't know. But of course, I tried other Anker earbuds out, and they work perfectly fine. They work great. With this particular headset, let's do the battery life. you get a total of 20 hours, which isn't super high, but you also get 5 inside the headset itself. So the headset will give you 5 hours. Once it's done charging, pop it in a case, you'll get an additional 15. So which brings it total of 20. They are IPX7. There we go. So when it comes to splash or water resistance, you won't have an issue being in the rain. You won't have an issue being in the gym. Now, I did look up some more information, and I didn't see anything. Maybe you guys can find it yourself, but I didn't see anything that said that the case was IP. And that's something that we have to be aware of. That's why people's cases or contacts stop working. Because even though a headset is IPX7 or X4 or whatever it is on any headset, it doesn't necessarily mean that the case is also. So you do have to be aware of what you're using them for. Make sure they're dry when you put them back in the case. Even if the case is IP rated, who cares? It's contacts. It's touching metal or whatever these, I don't know what material this is, but metal contacts that have power running through them. You don't want that to get wet or damaged. In addition to that, unfortunately, it doesn't have any app support. That's one thing I will say. So if you're looking for updates for your headset, because Anker does allow updates to their more up-to-date, newer headsets. This one doesn't have app support. You can't change the equalizer inside of the actual app itself, which is fine for me because I will say the sound on this thing is amazing. But again, we're going to hop into that in the next part of the video. So without further ado, I'm pretty sure there's something that I'm missing. I said battery life, I said that, USB, no wireless charging, no active noise cancellation, and no transparency mode. But for this $39.99 price tag, I don't expect any of those things to be included. I've done a lot of headphones on this channel, and I've done some off-brand that were $30, $40. I can honestly say that because of the sound, let me be quiet. We're going to hop into the next part of this video, and I'll describe that for you guys. Alrighty, so what we're going to go ahead and do is show you the syncing process for this headset in addition to how it sounds. So we're going to do fit and sound, basically in the same video. Let me get out of here because I was reading the manga and wow, that's laggy. And I don't want YouTube to try to say something like, oh, you're looking at such and such, such. You know how YouTube is. If it's something important, they don't like it. If it's something suspect, they let it go. So anyway, let's go to the Bluetooth. Now, what I didn't notice about this particular headset is that you do have to take it out of the case if you're going to sync it. Let me take those out of the case. They're going to do their thing. It's going to blink for a little bit, as you see in the corner right here, and then it's going to read the headset. So let's give it a moment. Or at least that's what it's supposed to do. I'll give it a second. Let's stop. Let's sync. Come on, pick it up. There you go. So it pops up. Soundcore Liberty Neo. Just so you know, this headset can be used with either the left or the right ear with no issue. So let's do the test right there. It's already connected. What I'm going to go ahead and do is go to YouTube. I'll just do the friendly music anyway. You won't be able to hear it, but I'm going to go ahead and just do that anyway. So as you can see, if you look at the top corner right here, it's connected. Pop this inside of the case, close it. It's still going to play because the headset is connected. Now, again, the only reason I will be doing some of my own music that I make just for fun that I did many, many years ago. I'll start using those songs so that you can actually hear speakers and certain things moving forward. But for now, we're just going to use this music, no copyright, because you'd be surprised with these companies. They get mad when someone plays their music. It could be 300 years old, they still get mad. It happens. But again, so that's that. I'll just leave that on this page playing. Actually, let me switch that out. And if you're wondering what this is called Ace of Diamond, the wallpaper. I looked for it online. I know some people see my wallpapers and ask the different types that I have. Anywho, outside of that horrible glare that this thing is showing right now, we're actually showing the light on the ceiling. These, if we just zoom in and really take a look at these, let me see if I can just clear. There we go. This part right here, like I said previously in the video, I thought it was going to give me a problem, and it didn't whatsoever. I didn't even change these earbud tips. They're actually super comfortable for me. Now, what I will say is that over time, they didn't slip out of my ear, believe it or not. When I ran with them, I jogged with them. When I say jogged, it's cold outside, so I was on inside the house with a treadmill, and I also did use my exercising bike at a higher setting. So I was sweating, it was dripping, and I didn't have any issues with this slipping out of my ear. The reason being is because it has this rubber I'm about to call it an insole, but this rubber insert, whatever it is that goes around your ear. Forget what exactly the technical name of it is, but if you're watching this video, you understand what I'm talking about. It keeps it in place, and I love the rubber parts right here because it's easy in the ear. It doesn't hurt at all either. If this was plastic, you probably have an issue where you're like, you know what, over time you feel swelling or pain. I don't have that issue so far, believe it or not. And I can honestly say that I mean, it did give me a little discomfort after wearing it for about 2 hours straight. Now, I was blasting music. Let me be transparency about that. I was blasting music while I was doing that to kind of see what kind of, I got to stop doing that. You know, it's going to make me go deaf one day. But I did that on purpose because since it doesn't have ANC or any, well, that's noise cancellation anyway, any form of noise cancellation, I wanted to see how well it would perform in high volume areas. So I was on a train, the 69th Street, Broad Street line, not the Broad Street line, but the L train that goes to 69th Street to Frankfurt. So anyone that's familiar with Philadelphia or been here or heard of it, they know that nasty, dirty train. It takes me to work. I had these on full blast. I couldn't hear a word anyone was saying. I couldn't hear any train background, any noise, things like that. Now, granted, that's unhealthy to do for your hearing, but I had to do that because some headphones you could turn all the way up and you can still hear things around you. But these do a very good job of isolating sound. They're not the loudest sounding anker buds that are out there, but what I will say is because of the fit, because of this rubber insole sealing your ear, and because it's lightweight, it's not even heavy at all, it did a very, very good job of sealing the noise, keeping the music in there, especially with the bass, the highs, and the mids. Now, the song that I listened to was, I think it was called Victoria Stay. It's like a Euro beat. So if you've ever watched Initial D, which is like the greatest racing show in the world. What is this down here? Let me close that out. Now, anyway, like I was saying, if you ever watch Initial D, you'll know that there's a lot of Euro beats in that. And I love the music. It's perfect for me. I use it all the time when I drive. And I listen to a plethora of those songs that have mixtures of different instruments depending on what it is. It's chopped differently. It's older music, so it doesn't have the most perfect balance of sound like certain artists. Like you can listen to a J. Cole or someone, and his songs can sound so perfectly aligned that it's like, okay. But if you listen to something older, you can really hear. I'm not gonna say you can hear the instruments better because you can't. It's just it just gives a different feeling. Music is subjective, so it gives a different feeling. The bass was awesome. I kind of cut off the explanation because I'm like, I'm going to ramble on about nothing. But for a music lover that likes different types of songs and things like that, if you're in that category, you'll kind of understand what I said. Like when you're listening to Euro beats, that really pushes the bass on your headset. It really pushes just whatever it is that you're listening to. You hear all the instruments if they're using them inside the songs. Like I said, I use it for driving music. It's hype music in my opinion. And I didn't want to use regular rap this time around, primarily because I wanted to see how well these headphones really perform with other genres. Rap is just a bass, a kick. All right, we're done. Obviously, there's more to it. Don't crucify me on that. There is more to it, but when you compare rap music to rock music, even though it's more, rap has been more rock lately with a lot more people, you know, jumping into different areas of how they get their beats done. It's better to just listen to that in terms of the quality of seeing how these headphones perform than necessarily a Tupac song. You know what I mean? So anywho, they're very good. I like these headphones. To be honest, I was using the JLab Ergo Pops as my primary because of how good they felt in my ear personally. And I'm going to replace them with these. Like I said, the only downside is that they're micro USB, which isn't life or death because I'm never going to charge these outside of my house. My headsets are always charged in the morning. In the middle of the night. I take them off the charger, and when I wake up in the morning, I have a line of headphones. I grab whichever one I'm going to use. I like these. These feel really good. Normally, I wear my over-the-head ANC anker headphones, but I won't have to do that because this really isolates a lot of the noise, so I don't have to hear people around me when I'm walking down the street or anything. So just be careful and be aware that these can kind of cause blind spots because you won't be able to hear if someone's running up on you to bop you in the head. Again, I work in Philadelphia, but I don't live in Philadelphia, so it's Philly. But that's the part of the music. Hopefully you guys got a good understanding. Like, again, for $40, these are very similar to the P Minis. Like the P Minis had really, still do have really good bass. They're lightweight. They feel good in the ear. Though the P Minis have, I believe, a longer battery life, like 7 hours or 8 hours, and they have USB-C and a smaller case. But what I will say for $40, which is a $10 difference, in reality, no, the P Minis for 39. They're either 39 or 49. I think they're around the same price. But if you don't care for that wingtip design, not wingtip, that stem design, these are definitely a close second. And I can honestly say that I get more sound and better sound out of these than the P Minis, primarily because it does a better job of sealing my ear where none of the noise really leaks out at all. So that's that. So anyhow, let's hop on to the next section. I was going to kind of do a section called fit and show you how they fit in my ear, but I figured, you know what? I already talked about the fit in the video, how they feel good. We covered the battery life. We covered the IP ratings. We covered a lot on this headset. Now, again, this is going to be my everyday headset. So I guess in this last section, is it worth a buy? Yes, they're definitely worth a buy. But I'm going to give you a double answer and play devil's advocate and also say, no, they're not worth a buy. So let me explain that answer for you. If you're looking for something that's affordable and cheap as in price, but affordable and has amazing bass and sound, these headphones can be cranked up to the maximum, and you're not going to hear any breakage, any crackling, or anything like that. Now, granted, if you put this against a $200 headset, you're obviously going to hear a difference in sound profile. You're going to get better clarity on a more expensive headset. But I can say with certainty that if Beats sold these, they would be $99 regular price. Absolutely. Because the sound quality and sound profile with listening to music on this is so good. I would use this any day over the Beat Studio Buds, by far. And I use that as an example of a headset that it's not a bad headset. I'm not going to bash the Beats Buds this time, wireless, whatever they're called. But sound-wise, sure, it has better profiles in certain aspects of the headset. But as an overall experience, I prefer these headphones. They feel better in the ear. They last longer in terms of, not so much last longer, but not battery life, but they just feel way better in the ear. That's number one. Ear placement, that's what I meant to say. When it's in your ear and you have the rubber, I don't have an issue at all, except for if I'm blasting music like 80% and higher, then that could cause ear irritation, which could hurt your entire canal. And that's different from the headset itself being irritable. But that will add to it because if your head hurts, the headset is going to be a little bit more irritable in what it is that you use and what do you do with it. I'm rambling. Anyhow, the point is that this is a really good headset. I do suggest it. For the $40, I wish it was USB-C, but it's not. But micro USB isn't a deal breaker because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to carry a cord around with you 24 hours a day. I do because I have a book bag, but most people don't. So just as long as you charge it at home the previous night before, if you're a heavy user like me, you're going to charge these every single day. If you're a light user like some other people out there, you might use it 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours a day. You can go an entire week without charging them. You'll be perfectly fine. So I think it will suit most people's lifestyles. They're small enough where it has universal fit. You have changeable wingtips for those that have bigger earlobes and want that more comfort or that more secure fit. So it covers all the bases of what you need, pretty much. Now, for the part of the video where I say no, the devil's advocate part, I'm just spitballing here. USB-C, I prefer things USB-C. It's a pain to have to carry an extra cord. That's that. Second, there aren't going to be any updates to these headphones. Not that you really need any connectivity updates because I haven't had an issue with that personally. Like I've had higher end headphones that disconnect when I'm underground on a train and then reconnect. While these so far haven't given me any issues. It's been over a week. I haven't had one issue with connectivity whatsoever. I forgot to mention this in the other part of the video. Call quality is average. Just like the typical headsets that I normally talk about, like the P2 Mini, the call quality on this and the P2 Mini is virtually the same. So you already know that you'll be able to use this headset and you won't have any issues talking to the person. It won't say you sound cloudy or anything like that. If you're in the rain, if you're in extreme wind, obviously it's not going to sound that good. There are headphones that perform well in inclement weather, but again, the price jumps up once you do that. So yeah, other than that, I don't have any issues with this headset. I mean, granted, there are other headphones like the I forget what they're called, Fun something or Game Fun. I forget what those headphones are called. Earfun. There we go. There are Earfun headphones that are pretty good too. Like I heard a pair. I haven't owned it. I do have to order a pair to actually. Well, I ordered a pair previously and it didn't show up, so I do have to do that again. And now that I can find them off of Amazon rather than Earfun website, I'll definitely order a pair and go from there. But again, for the $39.99 price tag, which is the normal price, and the fact that you could probably get them for cheaper, especially if you shop around. Oh yeah, these bad boys are definitely worth the money. Absolutely. Just the base, the music profile alone makes it worth it. But anywho, that's the video. I made this video way too long. It should have been 10 minutes. It was going to be like 15 or 16. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Like, subscribe. This is the headset right here, Liberty Neo. I think there's a Liberty Neo 2. I'm not too sure. They do make different versions of the same headset. So just be aware when you walk into a store, right? And you say, let's say you want these headphones. If you see a Soundcore headphones of the same shape or the same type but a different name, a lot of times there's a more upgraded version with just improvements to the last version. That's why they look identical. But anywho, I got this off of Amazon and I'm sorely happy with this product. If there's any issues arise, I will do a follow-up video, let you guys know. But so far, I haven't had any problems. Would I put them in a case? Beats. They disconnect right away. I don't have any issues. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Like, subscribe, and let's talk about it in the comment section.